Socrates was once a Greek philosopher, who is regularly viewed to be the father of Western philosophy, and a key determinant in the improvement of Western civilization. The unexamined existence is now not well worth residing for a human being. Socrates, Republic. 38 See Socrates. Socrates left no authentic writings, so impressions of Socrates have come particularly from the writings of his student, Plato. There are additionally different contributions from Xenophon and a cutting-edge playwright, Aristophanes. It is viable that Plato embellished the legacy of Socrates by way of making him show up the noblest philosopher, and perfect to be cherished and followed. The extent of this embellishment is tough to quantify, however the lifestyles of Socrates stays an exquisite concept to many. Socrates married Xanthippe and collectively they had 3 children. Tradition suggests that Xanthippe was once argumentative and difficult to please, with Socrates the mannequin of philosophic calm. The Socratic method. Apart from a quick spell in the army, it is no longer clear how Socrates earned a living. However, he attracted a team of younger men, who got here to research and learn about with Socrates. Socrates sought to train through a course of self-enquiry. He did now not declare to have the answers, he would purely ask questions to his students, forcing them to suppose for themselves and query their personal dogmas and beliefs. As for me, all I comprehend is that I understand nothing. Republic. 354 See this well-known assertion of Socrates is symptomatic of his Socratic method. Socrates used to be constantly conscious of the challenge of his knowledge. Plato writes how the 30 tyrants sought to contain Socrates in the unjust execution of Leon of Salamis, who hostile the tyrants. Socrates, however, refused and should have been accomplished himself, had now not the tyrants been overthrown. During Socrates' life, the country of Athens used to be present process political turmoil after struggling a humiliating defeat in the Peloponnesian War. This exacerbated emotions of nationalism and loyalty to the Athenian state. However, Socrates felt compelled to check and observe his very own countrymen. He was once additionally inclined to criticize and check conceptions of justice and keep away from a slim sectarian viewpoint. At one point, Socrates famously states, as quoted through Plutarch, "I am no longer an Athenian or a Greek, however a citizen of the world." However, his continual criticisms and questioning created political enemies. His function used to be worsened with the aid of the suspicious local weather of the time. A pal of Socrates, Chaerephon, requested the oracle of Delphi if anybody used to be wiser than Socrates. The oracle stated that no one used to be wiser than Socrates. Socrates' idea this was once a paradox due to the fact he didn't comprehend anything. However, after speaking to all the leading poets and dignitaries of Athens, Socrates realized that even though different human beings thinking they knew a lot, certainly they didn't. So Socrates affirmed that the oracle used to be right. He was once the wisest, in simple terms, due to the fact he used to be conscious of his personal ignorance. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share and subscribe. Like it. I am wiser than this man, for neither of us seems to be aware of whatever incredible and good. However, he fancies he is aware of something, even though he is aware of nothing, whereas as I do no longer understand anything, so I do now not fancy I do. In this trifling particular, then, I show up to be wiser than he, due to the fact I do now not fancy I be aware of what I do no longer know. Socrates is frequently portrayed as a first-rate saint, any individual with a command of his very own self, though he used to be additionally reputed to have a speedy anger. One story regarding Socrates was once when Socrates, alongside with Some students went to see a properly acknowledged soothsayer. The soothsayer was once requested to communicate about the nature of Socrates. She spoke back that Socrates had all the poor characteristics of vanity, ego, concern and hatred. At this, his college students had been outraged as they didn't see them in their teacher. However, at this point, the soothsayer continued. True, Socrates has these qualities, however in contrast to others, he is additionally in a position to upward shove above them and hold them locked away. Trial and execution of Socrates' unorthodox political viewpoints and willingness to expose the lack of awareness of others created many enemies. This led to his arrest and trial. This trial was once sensationalized in the dialogues of Plato. Plato paints the image of a logician flawlessly indifferent from the concern of demise and dedicated to the truth. Shortly earlier than his death, Socrates said, "The hour of departure has arrived, and we go our methods, I to die and you to live. Which is the better, solely God knows." When Socrates was once observed responsible of corrupting the minds of the childhood of Athens and of impiety, he evenly usual the verdict. And instead than attempt and get away the loss of life penalty, he well known the hemlock poison. If Socrates had repudiated his beliefs, he ought to have been free. He should additionally have tried to escape. However, as a philosopher, he felt it extra necessary to stick to his beliefs. He additionally felt the social contact with the country of Athens, and consequently ought to willingly meet his fate. Socrates' ultimate phrases were, "Crito, we owe a chicken to Asclepius. Please, don't overlook to pay the debt." Asclepius was once the Greek god for curing illness. This should have supposed Socrates noticed loss of life as freedom for the soul. Others interpret it as which means that his demise was once a purifying treatment for Athens' misfortune and mistakes. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share and subscribe. Like it.